Alright guys, let's talk about TONCOIN on the channel for the first time since this candle right here on the 28th of May, guys. Now, we do find ourselves a bit lower than that point, the 28th of May. We're talking about, what, about a month and a half almost. Now, you can see basically it hit this resistance right here. This is a resistance line, this yellow line, guys, and we've hit it several times basically on the way. We've even hit it today. Now, let me zoom in here, guys. You can see we made it all the way up to, what, a high of about $3.09. Now, I do need to say that this actually had a little bit of a pop on some interesting news here. There's a 10-year UAE golden visa with TON. Now, you can secure a 10-year golden visa with a one-time $35,000 processing fee, but the caveat here is you have to stake $100,000 of TON for 3 years and retain full control of your crypto here. So you can apply here on this website, guys. But yeah, check it out if you actually want to move to the UAE. This is not something I am personally interested in. I don't have $100,000 of TON, of course. And plus, I wouldn't pay $35,000 personally myself to go to the UAE. But anyways, guys, some people might be interested in this, and, you know, me personally, I'm not, but this is actually what caused this to pop a little bit today. So let's look at this actually on the 1 hour time frame. Now, the 1 hour time frame, it's not really creating any pattern, and I actually put this on the 4 hour time frame, this little bull flag. So it does look like it wants to break out here on the 4 hour time frame, and let's see. Now, that would actually take us, let's do this. Let's just make it a little bit conservative. Now, if it does break out, the target will be up here at about, let's just say $3.10, guys. So that's pretty much what this has already reached today. But let's see, it may try to pump to that point once again. Now, keep in mind, there is a resistance here at $2.95, which it actually hit today already as well. And there's a $3 resistance here on a weekly time frame. And then you have another daily here at $3.07. But you do have this resistance that it's been facing since, like I said, back in, actually on the 28th of May, we hit it. So it was before that. So this resistance actually goes all the way back to, what is this, April. Wow, that's a long, long time, guys. So April 1st, basically, this resistance started. And yeah, I mean, we do need to break through that, but we have several points to break through first. And yeah, I mean, I think TON will be a great coin to actually keep in your wallets, guys. Keep in your bags, basically. I have, you know, this is one of my favorite coins, actually. I should pick up a little bit more of this, but right now I haven't done that. But we'll see, guys. I might just do that personally. But this is one of my favorite, you know, coins as a whole. Now, taking a look at the volume profile, guys, you can see that we are slightly under the point of control here. Now, the point of control is about $3.07. We are sitting about $2.92, 93 cents at the moment, guys. That is this red line, though, this point of control. Now, once we get above about, let's just say $3.20, the volume really drops off until you get up to about $5. Here you're going to have this big node to really contend with. I actually bought somewhere up here, guys, and yeah, I didn't think it would reach these levels down here, honestly, just because it was so strong for so long. But again, guys, this is a new coin, and again, this is where I really stress that you have to be super patient with these new coins, because eventually they will fall down enough. You can see, guys, I could have picked it up for about half the price that I really picked it up at. So, you know, anyways, big mistake on my part, but I'm sure a lot of people made the same mistake. And yeah, I mean, this, you know, once it made this M pattern and broke it, I probably should have just dropped it with a little bit of a loss and waited, you know, for something like this and picked it back up. Now, taking a quick look at the Bollinger Bands, guys, you can see this is kind of starting to pinch in. I have removed some of the drawings here to make this a little bit more clear too. Now, you can see that this blue line is coming down. This one is kind of going sideways a bit, but this is about as narrow as it's ever been, guys. So this could result in a little bit of a pop here. I do think it needs to pinch in a little bit more, though, personally, at least on a weekly time frame. Now, on a daily time frame, let's take a look here. This is actually pretty narrow too, guys. Let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit more easier. Okay, this top line is actually coming down. This bottom line is slightly pointed up. So, you know, this is pretty narrow. You know, we can see this is quite fat all through here, but this is narrow. I mean, let's go back a little bit more in the history here. Now, here you did kind of have a little pinch, but this pinch actually resulted in a downfall here. Actually, it caught the bottom of the Bollinger Band, so, and did get a big pop. So yeah, you know, if you looked at that, you would say, oh, that, you know, Bollinger Bands, they don't need the pinch. But typically, when Bollinger Bands pinch, they do get a pop, you know, usually to the upside, although they can result in some downside action, like over here too, guys. You do have a little bit of a narrow, you know, pinch there, so it did result in some downside. But yeah, here it was a little bit, you know, it caught the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. It was a little bit fat, but yeah, it did get a little bit of pop. But, you know, this one is kind of, you know, going against the Bollinger Bands and what they really do. Usually, you know, like I said, they do have to pinch together. And I would say this is getting pretty close. I do think this is going to get a pop on the daily and probably on the weekly time frame. Now, taking a quick look at the RSI and the stochastic here on the weekly time frame, this is actually pointed to the upside now, the blue line here, so that's actually pretty good. It's about to cross, and that's what you really need. Now, this is kind of going sideways on the RSI, so, you know, it's still okay in my opinion on a weekly time frame on both. Now, if we take a look at the daily, it also is about to cross back up, you know, above this red line, so that's a good sign. But it doesn't have too far to run before it gets overheated, of course. Now, the RSI is pointed pretty heavily to the upside on the daily. Now, the 4-hour time frame, that's a little bit overheated, just crossed the red line here with the stochastic, so probably about to make that move down, at least in the midterm here. RSI is pointed to the upside, not overheated just yet, but not too far from it. Now, 1-hour time frame, this is actually pointed down, unfortunately, on the stochastic, but probably will get oversold here pretty shortly, I would say, and then turn back to the upside. RSI is just kind of floating sideways here, but still has a little bit of room. Now, the 15-minute time frame, guys, getting overheated here on the stochastic, and the RSI kind of flat. So, longer term time frames look better for me. The weekly looks pretty good. The daily also looks pretty good. So long term, guys, I think ton is due. Like I said, the Bollinger Bands are about to squeeze. RSI and Stoke, you know, look pretty good. But yeah, you know, I think in the shorter term, maybe it will cool down just a little bit, but I do think it's going to continue. Now, one more indicator to consider, guys, is the MACD, and you can see that this is curved to the upside. You know, it does look good. It has some, you know, dark green actually in the last couple of weeks here. So yeah, MACD on a weekly time frame. Now keep in mind, this is a very short lifespan. You know, it does look good though still. Now the daily time frame, let's take a look. Also getting a green candle after a couple of dark reds actually. But yeah, I do think it is in for a period of green here. Probably something like this or like this, you know, it's just, yeah, you just never know. This actually did cross the red line. Again, good sign. It's pointed heavily to the upside, and has a ways it can run, guys. I mean, if we look back at the history here, it can run up to 0.41, and it's still sitting below 0. So it still can run a long ways. Now, keep in mind, this again is not a long history. Now, looking at the tokenomics, guys, this is the number 22 coin. It's, you know, very, very big. It's connected to Telegram, guys, and there is an infinite max supply. That's one thing I don't really like about this coin, but hey, I do think this is an excellent coin to hold just because it's, you know, connected to Telegram, and it's such a big platform, guys. Now, circulating supply is about half of what is the total supply, so it's not too bad. Let's just say 5 billion. That's pretty, you know, tame, we can say. You know, it's not that many coins in reality. Once it gets above 10 billion, that's when I might start to worry about it. But all-time low was about 4 years ago. If you picked it up there, great, deal. But about a year ago, we saw $8.25. Now, keep in mind, this is only 65% down. So when it's only about 65% down, I usually say, it probably will make it back to its all-time high, at least this cycle. And I do think this one will continue. If I had to guess, TON is going to be something like a $20 to $25 coin, 30 in the right conditions. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, I just want to say check out some of my favorite crypto exchanges below in this description, guys. I do have 10 partnerships here with 10 different exchanges. I also have Moodix here if you want to try a free 7-day trial, and you can follow me on X here, guys. Now, taking a quick look at Bitcoin, it is getting a green day today, but it is fighting the resistance here at 109, basically. We can just say flat, and yeah, we are creating probably a little bit of a gap right now, but it's not a major gap. Also, taking a look at Ethereum, it is fighting the 2552 mark. You can see if I zoom in, guys, it has gotten a rejection there. It hasn't quite made it up to the top of this flag either yet. So let's see, major step would be if we can close above 2552 tonight. This is a weekly resistance, so closing from Sunday to Monday above that is very vital. Now, looking at the CME gap, we have 108.125 is actually where it ended on Friday. So let's go back and look to see where it is. There's about a $600 gap here at the moment, so it's not too bad. But I do think it will move down before we get that move up. Now, if we close the candle, like I said, above this tonight, that would be best case scenario, and then come down, make a little bit of a wick, and then get a continuation. That would be really ideal in my opinion. Now, the dominance, guys, is moving down today. This is a good sign at 65.27. Remember that number for later in this video. Now, the USDT dominance also, people are starting to spin their USDT. That is a good sign. This is moving down. Next support is 4.31%, but still kind of far away from that. We are, respecting this resistance as well. Now, because the dominance is moving down, guys, we do have a 29 on the Altseason index. I believe yesterday when I made the video, had moved from a 27 to a 24. Could have been a 27. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go back and look. But this is higher than yesterday for sure. We are almost in the 30s. We haven't been up here since May, guys. Last time we were up here was, definitely like mid-May. So, it's starting to look better for altcoins here. Now, the liquidation heat map, only 112 million have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. So that's still pretty tame. Now, the fear and greed is at a 66, a little bit lower than yesterday, but, not too bad in my opinion. Next update is in about 3 hours and 20 minutes. Now, the bull market peak indicators. Like I said, the Bitcoin dominance was above 65. Now, here on this, sell at the top indicator website, it has that we are actually below it. So I'm not sure where it's taken that number from, but my indicator shows it is above. So technically I would say we are 1 from 30, but here on this website, it's only 0 from 30 and it's still 100% hold. As to the economic calendar tomorrow, guys, you can see we pretty much have nothing really to worry about. If we look at the Fed watch tools, guys, it's still 95% chance that we're not getting a cut this month. Still a 5% chance, though, that we might get something. Trueflation is showing a 1.89 inflation index. That's amazing, guys. That's super low. Now, crypto bubbles today actually looks pretty good. Hour, day, and week have all lit up green, so this is good. You can see TON over here about 6% up. It's not major, guys, but this is some news that we do have to talk about when it comes to, this 10-year UAE golden visa, so I need to get that out of there. Now, the Coinondo does show that there is 17 deals here found for TONCOIN, and check it out, guys. Again, I should say that you don't want to, lock up your coins too long. For example, 5 days is reasonable, flexible is fine, but when you're locking it up for 360 days, you just don't, want to do that unless you're doing it for that visa, guys. But otherwise, you don't know what's going to happen in a year. So be careful, do your research. There are limits as well. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with your friends, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.